What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith, and in this video, I'm gonna show you how I picked up this duplex for just $22,000. I'm also gonna show you how it's given me a return of over $150,000, which ends up being over a 100% return every single year for the last 6 years. So with all of that being said, let's jump into it. All right, guys, if you're new to the channel, I've been investing in real estate for the last 8 years. I currently own over $14 million of real estate, and here on YouTube, I'm kind of known as the guy that went through a super gnarly eviction and sat down and interviewed the tenants for this eviction.
If shit would've got fixed on time, I'd have paid you on time. You motherfucking right, you ain't getting paid. Why? Because you're not taking care of your property, bro. You're being a slumlord. This house is a piece of just to keep it real with you. You have no driveway, you really have no yard space, none. So when I don't pay, it's never really because of the money, never.
Yeah.
It's because of principle stands, because I am a homeowner, I rent, and I wouldn't rent nothing like this, bro. That's what pisses me off about you, bro.
No,
you don't
so
listen.
Well, I'm trying to understand, why would you do it for free if you're out by Wednesday if I'm letting you out by Thursday without doing it at all?
All people aren't. Because at the end of the day, it's your fault that they got up.
So if you enjoyed that little clip and you haven't seen it, or even if you have, make sure you click the link in the description and go and watch it after this video. However, if you enjoyed it, make sure that you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell so you can catch me in my future videos where my goal is to help you to build a huge passive income. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, Chandler, why are you talking about the eviction video? We want to see how you made $150,000 with $22,000, and here is the reason why. I went on the iced coffee hour with Graham Stephan, and he ran a quick clip of that eviction. And on top of that, I had also done a collab video with Jack Doherty. He also ran a quick clip of that eviction. And so over the course of the last couple weeks, that video has absolutely exploded. Because it's exploded, lots of people have commented and said, Chandler, why on earth would you ever invest in a property like this? I can't imagine all of the money you've lost off of this property. This is why you should never invest in real estate, yada, yada, yada. And here's the reality. That eviction was gnarly. And that interview is something I'll never do again. However, I will always continue to buy real estate and push you to buy real estate, because even when the worst thing happens, it still ends up being an awesome thing for the owner. Now, I know that sounds crazy because, again, the eviction was a little bit nuts. However, this property has been a cash cow for me, and so I decided that I wanted to kind of take a step back and do a video on this property to show you how much money I've made over the last 6 years of owning this property, even with that gnarly eviction. So I was in a place where I was still a super newbie investor. Now, I had done other investment properties. I already owned a duplex, a condo, and I had done some other real estate stuff. However, I was still pretty clueless, and I was constantly watching the MLS and Craigslist. Well, this property popped up for $86,000 on Craigslist. The second it popped up, I called the owner and said, hey, I want to go over there tonight. I went over, walked the property, and I said, here's the deal. Do you have any wiggle room? He said, no, I don't have any wiggle room at all. And I said, all right, I'll take it. I want to take it for the $86,000. We shook hands and we called it a night. Now, the next day, I call him and say, all right, I've got paperwork all ready to go. We're going to do a for sale by owner. We're going to jump through all of the hoops. And he said, hey, we said 89,000, not 86,000. And guys, I know he said 86,000 because I still have the picture somewhere in my phone of the listing, because immediately I screenshotted it and I showed him and I tried to argue with him and he's like, nope, $89,000. It is what it is. Take it or leave it. So this guy totally screwed me and it was really frustrating, but I knew it was a good deal, and I think he found out that it was a better deal than what he was gonna sell it at, so he tried to milk me for a couple $1,000s more. So it is what it is, but I decided I was going to get a little bit of revenge on this jerk because he was hoping to sell the property in cash. And when I met with him, I said, hey, I can do cash, I can get a loan, I can do whatever. After he changed the price, I said, here's the deal. You just want to close in 15 days? And he said, yes. I said, okay, I'm gonna get a loan then. I'm fine with you charging me more, but we're gonna get a loan and you're gonna cover the closing costs with what you did bumping the price. And he's like, all right, fine, whatever. I'll cover closing costs, not a big deal. Now, this guy had only invested with all cash So he had no idea how much more closing costs were with a loan. So I was able to stick it to him. We get to closing day. He goes and looks at the statement and he's like, this is like a couple $1,000s. Why am I getting pegged with all these closing costs? And I said, sorry, dude, you said you were covering all the closing costs. I'm really hoping this guy learned his lesson to, one, understand how much closing costs are, and two, not take advantage of people and say you're going to do something and then back out on it. I got the property, I got it closed, and I took over ownership. Now, early on, we had some incredible tenants, and then we ended up running into the bumps that we did with this guy.
And when I say you really can't afford me, you really can't afford me, bro.
But here's the deal. I had planned for this. I had set aside 12% expenses just for damages to the property. I had set aside 6% vacancy just for the property. And up until this point, we didn't really have issues with all of these things. We didn't have a whole lot of vacancy, so we were never using our full 6%. And we weren't even touching our expenses because the people that had lived in it before these people and the people that have lived in it since then have been incredible, where it hasn't been a money pot at all. And we're probably only spending, a couple percent in expenses just for general maintenance stuff. And so what people forget is they look and they see that we had to spend thousands of dollars getting the property back to a good place. We missed out on a couple months rent, and we were in this place where, yeah, it sucked. It was terrible dealing with this guy.
That you're a piece of owner, bro.
That is something I didn't have to do. I was just starting my YouTube channel. I decided it would be a good idea to interview him. That is something I will never do again. Now my management company handles any evictions if we have them, and I don't get involved because it's not worth it. Because you give them the papers, if they don't get out or pay their rent, you evict them, and I don't have to do anything with it. And so a lot of people that are watching the video saying, Chandler, that guy was gnarly, that's incredible. Like, why do you continue to rent out property? Why is it good to invest in properties? I would never do that. I'd rather put my money in the stock market. But here's the deal. I was able to pick up this property for $89,000. However, I didn't have to spend $89,000. I just had to come up with a down payment and then get a loan on the property. So I only spent $22,000 to control an $89,000 property. I immediately went in and raised rents. So right off the bat, the property was probably worth $100,000 or $110,000 just a week after I purchased it, once we got it filled with tenants that were paying the right amount in rent. So now I've instantly added in probably half the money I've spent in equity into the property. Now, on top of that, by raising rents, I've increased my cash flow. I've been able to get principal pay down. I've been able to get tax benefits. And I'm not even gonna talk about a lot of this stuff. I'm not gonna talk about principal pay down, which is me paying down what I owe on the property. And I'm not gonna talk about tax benefits, but just in cash flow alone on this property, I'm actually making $8,019 a year in cash flow. That means once my mortgage is paid, once my expenses are paid, I'm making $8,000 a year. That's actually a 36% return on the $22,000 that I put down. So I'm gonna run the numbers with you really quick. If you guys haven't downloaded my calculator, go onto the App Store, whether you're on Android or on iOS, it's CDS Rental Calculator, and it helps you run the numbers on any investment property. So if we plug in an $89,000 purchase price, 25% down, 30 years to pay off, and a 3.25% interest rate. Rents are $1,500, maintenance is 12%, management is 7%, vacancy I skipped, but it's 6%. I don't have any utilities, any additional expenses, insurance is $400, and taxes are $1,800. So all we have to do is click run the numbers, and you can see that's where I'm getting a 36% return on that $22,000 I invested, and where I'm getting $8,019 in cash flow every single year. Again, we've got principal pay down that's gonna be, $1,300. We're not even gonna count that. If we just add up $8,019 and we do 8,019 times 6, over the last 6 years, that's been $48,000 in cash flow. Now, if you looked at the thumbnail, I'm sure you're saying, okay, Chandler, you made almost 50 grand in cash flow, even after dealing with this gnarly eviction because you had prepared for it, you had been setting aside money in your expenses, yada, yada, yada. That's only 50 grand. Well, here's the deal. This property has exploded on its value. I could turn around right now and easily sell this property for $190,000. And if you're doubting that, here's all you have to do. Right now, you could go to the Idaho Falls MLS. That's where I live, that's where I own this property. And you could search multifamily real estate. You will find that there is nothing on the listings, because the second anything hits it, it gets picked up because the market has exploded and tons of investors recognize there's a ton of value in owning rental properties. So if I go back and I plug in a value of $190,000, again, I purchased this property for $89,000. Should have been $86, but it is what it is. If I plug in $190,000 on this property and then I click run the numbers, you can see that that puts it right above a 6% cap rate, which right now, if anything is above a 6, even if it's above 5.5 in my market right now, people are buying it without even thinking about it. I wouldn't need a realtor. I would throw this on Craigslist or throw it on my YouTube channel and say, hey, does anyone want to pay $200,000 for this duplex? And I promise you I could sell it for that. But I'm being conservative by saying $190,000. That immediately gives me over $100,000 in equity that I've been able to add to this property. So between my cash flow over the last 6 years and my equity alone, I've been able to make over $150,000 on this property. Now again, this isn't taking into consideration principal paydown. It's not taking into consideration the tax benefits. This is just what the property has gone up in value and the cash flow I've actually received from it. And those numbers are conservative. I think I could easily have made over $150,000 if I were to sell it now. And here's the coolest part. That is over a 100% return every year I've owned it on my money. Now, where else in this world, even not counting principal paydown and tax benefits, can you get 100% return on your money consistently for 6 years in a row? And so people, this is why investing in real estate is the best place to put your money. Not in the stock market, not in an IRA, not in a 401k, not in anything else. The best place for your money is to invest it in real estate, because as you invest it in real estate properly, even if you deal with gnarly evictions with this guy,
you're at this, bro.
Even if you're going through that crap, you can put yourself in a place where your property is exploding in value. You're getting huge cash flow, and you will not regret investing in real estate because it is absolutely the best place to put your money. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the little bell. And let me know in the comments if you like me going back to old properties, because I've been thinking about starting at my first property and going through all of them and showing you the equity, showing you the cash flow, kind of opening the books on the story and everything else so that you can see the long-term and short-term benefits of owning real estate. Again, guys, thank you so much. Remember to hit the like button on your way out. And if you haven't watched the gnarly video of that eviction, you've got to go watch it. It was a learning experience for me. I promise it will be a good laugh and a learning experience for you. And I'll make sure I put the link in the description so you can go and watch that video next. Thanks so much, guys, and have a great day.